Welcome to Fantasy Sports Daily, powered by FantasyGuru.com. Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Pacific. Ray Flowers breaks it all down for you from a fantasy sports perspective. Morning, midday, hello, whatever it might be. Hell, you could be listening to this halfway around the world. Good evening. Welcome to Fantasy Sports Daily, powered by FantasyGuru.com. What you need to know is we're here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday through Friday at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We go about an hour, and then we have an hour break, and then you head over to SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio for Jeff Mann's Elite Sports Show from 2 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we got you covered 4 hours a day here. And then we got live streams and all kinds of extra stuff over at FantasyGuru.com as well. So plenty of audio, plenty of visual, and plenty of written word to help you out. I am Ray Flowers. You can find me on social medias at the Ray Flowers. Twitter X, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, all those places at the Ray Flowers. You can find me here with you, though we have a huge show announcement. So we'll get to that in a second. It is a Friday. We'll visit with Russell Clay here in about a half an hour. For those of you that are just finding us now randomly in the new year, welcome to the show. For those of you that have been with us, including all the folks in the chat room, hello, welcome back, welcome, whatever it might be. Thanks for joining us here on the show today. Again, Monday through Friday at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we rock and roll. We take comments, we take questions, we have discussions. On Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, we have a guest come in. On Mondays, the only day of the week, I'm solo, ramble on usually about the NFL scores of the weekend. We'll do that again with Wildcard Weekend here. We'll do that again on Monday. Let's throw up on the screen here what we're talking about today. On the screen, Ray, what are you talking about? Yeah, that's right. You know it. Most of you probably already know it. You probably know the places by heart. But 2 places you can listen as a podcast. Just type in Fantasy Sports Daily wherever you listen to podcasts. You can probably find us there. Please like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Star it, whatever it might be. That always helps us out. And then you can always go to FantasyGuru.com, and at the top of the page in the toolbar, click the Elite Plus tab to find this show and all the past shows, as well as all the other shows on the Elite Sports Network. There's also the 3 ways you can leave questions and comments live if you want to. You can also watch us live if you want to there, or on demand at any point. YouTube.com/@ElitePlusNetwork, Twitter X @FantasyGuru site, and Facebook.com/FantasyGuruHQ. All 3 of those places, you can leave questions, comments, all that stuff throughout the show, and we'll interact with you as we go through things. In about 25 or so minutes, and at that 12:30 Eastern Standard Time mark, we'll visit with Russell Clay. Over the next month, again, we've talked about this. We're going to keep talking football here as we move forward with our guests, Armando, Tyler, and Russell on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. With Russell, since he's our dynasty guy over at FantasyGuru.com, here we go. We're going to have him on. We're going to talk quarterbacks this week. We're going to talk running backs with him. We're going to talk wide receivers, tight ends. We're going to go through the rookie class of 2025. How did these rookie players perform? What did 2025 look like? What does the future look like? Again, he's our dynasty guy over at FantasyGuru.com. Today, we're talking quarterbacks. We'll go through Cam Ward, Jaxson Dart, Tyler Shough, Shedeur Sanders, Riley Leonard, Dillon Gabriel, Jalen Milroe, we didn't see, and then J.J. McCarthy, who's not a rookie, but was a rookie because he didn't play as a rookie in his first season because of the knee injury. We'll talk with those guys with Armando Pearsall. We'll also go over some NFL wildcard news, and there's a lot of it. Jaylen Warren, Omarion, Hampton, Jawhar, Jordan, Davante Adams, Odunze, Ricky, Pearsall. Lots to talk about. We'll do that as well. We'll open a pack. We got a Topps Chrome pack. There you go. 2025 Chrome Updated Series. We'll open that up in a few minutes. It's a baseball pack. We've also got the deal, and you can see it there on the screen for those of you that are watching. If you're not, you can read it in the description below. Again, got a couple of days, well, day and a half here to sign up for the Best Ball Playoff Tournament at drafters.com. Now, remember, over at fantasyguru.com, we've got we've got one and done playoff rankings. We have wild card week only playoff rankings. And as we heard about yesterday on the show here, Tyler Beaker actually created an entire Best Ball rankings series for you. So 3 ranking sets at fantasyguru.com, one and done, wild card weekend only, or Best Ball. Why are those Best Ball ones important? Because we have this deal to work with drafters.com. If you've already signed up with drafters.com, just head over there. You don't get a discount anymore, but you get a chance to win a $50,000 Best Ball first prize. There's $300,000 in prizes at drafters.com. So just head over there, get logged in, get ready, put some teams together, all that kind of stuff. If you've never signed up at drafters.com, you want to go to drafters.com/refer/elite. Drafters.com/refer/elite, and then put in the promo code ELITE, ELITE. That gets you a bonus match up to $100. So you put $20 in, they give you $20. You put $35 in, they give you $35. You get the point, all the way up to $100. Drafters.com/refer/elite with that promo code ELITE. And remember, we have Tyler did the whole thing. You can just input it directly into drafters.com. You have a whole ranking set there for those of you wanting to have success in that best ball tournament. Don't forget to go to fantasyguru.com and click the subscribe tab in the top right corner of the page. If you have any questions about any of the products, any of the deals, we got a lot of deals going on. We got gift cards right now. We got the MVP plan, which is basically everything that's not football or baseball related. We've got the huge discount on the football product, the postseason football product that includes rankings, all the Discord rooms, live streams, articles, all the NFL DFS, NFL seasonal, and the NFL betting, all of it, $19.99 for the playoffs. The only thing you don't get is the Super Bowl betting guide. So check that out over at fantasyguru.com. You can see it there on the screen at the top in purple. Huge show news. And sometimes people do things like that, and then they say, oh, we're going to start the show every day at 12:05 instead of 12. No, we're not doing that. This is actually significant news. Twofold news. Number one, it's been great with you all here. Don't worry, I'm still going to be here. I say that. No. Okay, that was a little bit of a radio pull there. Sorry about that. Here's the bottom line. Monday through Friday, the show's going to be here, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Fantasy Sports Daily, rocking and rolling as it has been for 2 years now. We're almost up to 575 episodes. But I'm only going to be here with you 3 days a week. Ray, oh, no. Yeah. I'm only going to be here 3 days a week. I'm going to be with you Monday, Thursday, Fridays. That means on Tuesday and Wednesday, Justin Fensterman's going to be here. So Justin's not only going to be doing Wednesdays as he has been doing for years now, he's also going to take on Tuesdays. So I'll be with you Monday, Thursday, Friday here on the show. Again, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We go about an hour. Justin Fensterman will be here with you Tuesday, Wednesday. So we still got you covered 5 days a week. Nothing's changing. Don't worry about it. Nothing's changing. 3 days of Ray, 2 days of Justin. Why is that? Well, I'm going to SiriusXM a little bit more. I'm normally on with Jeff Mans on the Elite Sports Show, 2 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm always with him on Wednesday, which is why I'm not here. We talk about this every week, almost every day. Now, I'm going to be with Jeff on Tuesday and Wednesday. So that's why I won't be here. I'll be with Jeff Tuesday and Wednesday. I'll be with you all here Monday, Thursday, Friday. On the 2 days I'm not here, Justin Fensterman will step in and be with you. So nothing changes on this show other than Tuesdays. It'll be Justin and Armando Marsal instead of me and Armando Marsal. And I'll be with Jeff over on SiriusXM on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. That's the big show news. We're still rocking and rolling. Nothing changes here on the show. Just a little bit of a host change on Tuesday. All right, let's do a pack break before we talk some football, right? Let's get some baseball. By the way, I don't have an announcement yet, okay? But a little birdie told me, including everyone I work with, that it's a possibility that the Fantasy Baseball Draft Guide will be available next week. Don't have a date yet. I was hoping to have it today. Let's hope it's Monday. But I think we're probably going to get a chance to release the draft guide next week. So stay tuned for the information on that. Got a bunch of articles going through the rankings right now. Started them yesterday. Doing them again today, tomorrow. Get those all set up for probably the release next week of the draft guide at fantasyguru.com, the baseball package. Got about, I think, 18 articles, something like that done. And then doing the rankings now. So we'll be rocking and rolling here really soon. As we've discussed as well, we'll continue to talk baseball and football on the show. We're not changing the general plan we've had, right? Football gets covered all season when there's football games. Baseball gets covered all season when there's baseball games. And here we go. Working Grind says, I need more elite content, like 2 more daily shows. You guys down for that? I drive a lot. You're the only thing that keeps me sane. Well, I appreciate that. Working Grind. Yeah, hopefully we have some fun. Hopefully we're informative. Hopefully we cover a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We have a lot of great, also at the site, which I know you're aware of. We do have live streams for tons of sports. We got, and don't forget, we have Mind of Marsal podcast. Again, fantasyguru.com, Elite Plus tab at the top. Mind of Marsal podcast, usually football, but we've got that. We got Jeff Mans, One Man's Opinion, usually football, but then there's Jeff yelling and screaming, having a good time. This show is cataloged there. The Race Guru Thunder Hour with Rich and Sean, that's there. What else am I forgetting about? I feel like I'm forgetting one show. Let's pull this up here. because I feel like I'm missing a show, and I don't want to do that. Oh, Justin Fenchman's Basketball Diaries. What am I saying? Yeah, Justin. He does a basketball show over there. So we got a lot of coverage there. For those of you that want to get signed up for anything, remember right now the MVP plan is what you want. The MVP plan is everything other than baseball and football at fantasyguru.com. That includes hockey, basketball, NASCAR, PGA, MMA, horse racing. We cover a lot of things over at fantasyguru.com. So get over there and check it out. All right. Yeah, Adam, we're trying to do ASMR. Why not? I'm not a very attractive woman doing it, so it's probably not as fun. But yeah, we're trying a little bit there. All right, let's open the pack up. Let's see here. This is, again, 2025 Topps Chrome. It is the updated series, 6 cards in the 7-pack box. We'll hope for a big one here. It looks like we got an insert. You can see it here on the back. Oh, you can't see on the camera. Looks like we got an insert. It's a little bit different color. All right, so here we go. Now, this is a cool card. Now, in the old days, we used to get a whole bunch of differences. It's a cool card just because it's Aroldis Chapman. It's kind of hard to see here. But it's from the side, right? It's not the standard. It's tilted on the side so you see the whole motion. Cool card. I don't think it's worth anything, but he had a great season last year. Great comeback season last year. Looking like his career was kind of tailing off a little bit. Was fantastic. Blaine Krim, who missed a cool card too, of the Rangers, might be a chance to be the DH this year. We'll see. There's an opening in the lineup, obviously, with Garcia out. So we'll see. Blake Krim, he can hit. He's a 27-year-old, I think. Had a lot of success in the minors, never really got a footing or even an opportunity until last year. Really brief cup of coffee. We'll see if he can get it done this year. Oh, I see an insert. It's coming, folks. Oh, it's a good one. Chris Paddock. Love the stirrups. Look at the Paddock. I don't know. Is the hair or the stirrups better? Paddock, who had a really remarkable season last year, staying healthy. That's the big concern with him because of all the injuries, all that kind of stuff. But he was really healthy. League average pitcher. But, he'll have a nice long career. Here are the inserts. Here's a rookie card of Adel Amador, who is supposed to be the middle infield option along there with Ezekiel Tovar for the next 10 years for this team. His hit tool is backed up as he's risen through the minors a little bit. So now the expectation is hopefully he'll just emerge as an everyday player. There was hope at one point that he'd be more of an all-star kind of guy. Now it's probably just an everyday player. That's one of those refractors. I don't even know what they're called because I'm not fancy, but you can see it there. Woo, little refractor action there. We're getting 2 of these every pack. Clay Holmes, who transitioned from the bullpen to the starting rotation for the Mets and had a very good season, trailed off late, likely wore down. He threw like 3 times as many innings as he's normally throwing. So solid season for him. And here's the insert. And I don't know what this is worth. I should have had it up. It's a James Wood insert. Now, it's not a jersey card. It's not anything like that. It is a Washington National James Wood NT25. This has to do with the fact that he hit a 116-mile-an-hour exit velocity play. I don't know. Let's see. James Wood. I can't even read. Night Terror? James Wood Night Terror. Let's do this search. I forgot to do it again. James Wood Night Terror Chrome Topps. All right, let's see. What is our James Wood Night Terror for sale on eBay right now? Ooh. For sale on eBay. Oh, it's huge. $2, $3. Now, again, these are auctions, so that number might get to $10. I don't think we're really hoping for I'm looking at all the cards. Well, that's an updated. There's an orange. Okay, so this is just a regular one. There's an orange one that's on sale for $125, and there's a gold for $110. We just got the regular one. So unfortunately, this is about a $10 card. Oh, I'm off the screen. It's about a $10 card, but James Wood, who was talked of very highly in the draft guide last year, who was on multiple teams of mine last year, went out and had a great season, looking to improve things even more this season. Greg says, sweet. That's my best Cartman voice. Super sweet. And then Ethan said, gets me excited for baseball talk soon. Yes, baseball talk. And we will be doing that on Sirius XM. That's one of the reasons. Jess said, look, Ray, we need you on. We need you on the show to talk baseball. So that's one of the reasons I'm going to be on Sirius XM. So when I'm on, we'll still talk football. That'll be the majority of the show, I think. But there'll be a significant amount of baseball on Sirius XM because we know that it's that season. All right. Let's talk a little football here. Let's get it on. Let me pull up the notes here. Here we go. Omarion Hampton, who we talked about on the show yesterday, and we'll continue. I've got let's see here. Hold on. Before we move to football, we've got 4 more packs from this box. 4 more packs. With the new schedule starting next week. Again, I'm only going to be on 3 days a week. Maybe I'll open one Monday. Maybe I'll just do Tuesday or Thursday, Friday. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we got 4 packs left in that box as we search for some kind of autograph or some kind of fancy Nancy insert. Still got your Ricky Henderson from the 80s. Yeah, I've got a Henderson rookie. And again, I talked to my parents. It's in my old bedroom in the closet in my parents' house. I got my Letterman jacket in there. I got a ton of baseball cards. I've got my Dale Murphy autographed Louisville Slugger 34-inch bat. I think that's the only bat I have. Now that I think about it. But yeah, I got a bunch of stuff over there. Good luck finding it, Greg. It's like it gets you going, right? I was thinking the other day, I saw some videos online talking about the old Nintendo and everything. I have my old NES, my old Nintendo. I've got my old Sega Genesis. I have them. I still have my old Atari 2600. These are all the originals I got when I was, 5 years old and 12 years old and all that kind of stuff. And I got a box. I knew I had a box of video games that were for the Nintendo. And I'm like, where are my Sega games at? It's like, oh man, are they in the same box? So I went and looked. I obviously didn't keep all of my games because I had way more games than fits in that plastic box. But I at least know where 50 games for the 2 systems are at. So I got a nice little collection there. And every once in a while, I haven't pulled out the old Nintendo. I pulled the Sega recently. Pulled out the old Nintendo and got it going. You got to do that. Yeah, look at you. Way to go. Greg, still playing the NES. Yes. I've also got a Cool Boy, one of the knockoff. It's like this big. Knockoff. It's like, quarter size of what an actual NES is. And I don't think it was licensed by any means. It's got like 500 games on it. So we have a good time. I've taken that. Jeff Mans and I have played RBI baseball many a time on a work trip with that system. All right, here we go. Let's talk a little bit of Omarion Hampton. We talked about him yesterday, and it's not good news. We talked about him yesterday, and I kind of said 60-40 he plays. Didn't practice again yesterday. Now I'm really concerned. He's supposed to be involved, according to what the OC Greg Roman said, and then no one saw him on the field yesterday. He's working through the process with medical groups. That's what we're hearing from the front office. This is a real touch and go scenario. I don't have a good handle right now on Omarion Hampton if he plays or not. And I don't think anyone really does. He's doing mental reps and all. I don't know. I put together one of my one and done teams, and I'm not expecting the Chargers to win this game against the Patriots. But the Patriots, as we talked about yesterday on the show, can be run against. They have been for about half the season now. I'm planning on using Hampton in my one and done league. Now it's, do I go Kamani Vidal? I got to watch things up to game time. So that's something to keep an eye on. But by the way, for those of you that signed up for the one man's playoff game, I believe invites have gone out this morning or will be out soon this morning. So check your inbox for that. But it looks like Kamani Vidal is going to have a role. The question is, how big is that role going to be? Is it going to be, 6-8 touches behind Hampton, or is it going to be 16 or 18 touches because Hampton's not even going to play? So that's a storyline to follow very closely because he's a huge part of what they want to do offensively. Vidal's done a very good job filling in, but he's no Omarion Hampton. They really, the Chargers really would benefit from an opportunity to win this game against the Patriots if Hampton was indeed active. Jaylen Warren, players don't normally miss games, and we've seen this throughout the year. Players don't normally miss games with an illness. But Jaylen Warren didn't practice yesterday. The good news is he was around. He was in the locker room. He was wearing a mask to keep his teammates healthy, making sure he wasn't spreading cooties to them. I guess he had some gloves on too. I don't know. I guess he didn't want to touch things, and I don't know. But he was doing his best to be there with the team, but keep everyone healthy. So at this point, it seems, in my opinion, if he's there in the locker room and around the team, he's going to play. Something to keep an eye on, though. We'll get a lot more information. Again, it's 9:20 on the West Coast on Friday here. We don't have hardly any information here at this point in time. We're still have all this uncertainty. We do have the game starting tomorrow, remember, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, the 3 days for the wild card round. My article is up over at fantasyguru.com. You should be able to view it in both the seasonal and the DFS space, my matchup article. As we talked about, though, if you do get signed up over at fantasyguru.com for the football product, it's $19.99 the rest of the way. The only thing it doesn't include is the Super Bowl betting guide. And it's got everything we do for football. So seasonal football, including the article. The article doesn't need to be in both spots because you have access to all of it, but some people only check one zone or the other, so we put it in both spots. But the bottom line is that Bottom line is you can sign up right now, subscribe tab top right corner, email fantasyguru.com, support at fantasyguru.com, support at fantasyguru.com. You get the seasonal football coverage, you get the DFS football coverage, you get the betting football coverage, you get all of it. So you get access to everything. That's the bottom line there. Let's see. I look really white today. That's a little bit better. A little red. I don't know. I need to get some more sun. Though, to be fair, we haven't had much sun here of late. Anyway, okay. Back to Jaylen Warren. He should be active. We'll follow this news story here. Obviously, he and Gainwell have been huge in the backfield for the Steelers. They expect fully it's going to happen. DK Metcalf's going to return to the lineup after his 2-game suspension. So they're going to give it their best there in that matchup with the Texans. But Jaylen Warren, watched the reports today, but feeling pretty good about his availability this weekend, though you never know. The Bills, we talked about Ty Johnson yesterday. 2 days in a row now with the ankle. He has not practiced. He's a veteran. He's been around for years. He's been around the team for a couple years now, too. Doesn't need to practice. It's not a death blow to his outlook this week to not have him on the field. It's still highly possible that Ty Johnson plays this weekend. At the same time, 2 DNPs, not good. Now again, this is not a. We fully expect James Cook to get 20 touches this week. The Jaguars can be run against, so we expect the Bills, who run the ball better than any team in the NFL, to highly lean on that running game. Josh Allen's going to play despite the toe injury or foot injury. I don't think anyone's surprised by that. But Ty Johnson may or may not be there. Ray Davis, as we've talked about here already this week, went for 170 plus scrimmage yards last game in Week 18. With Cook kind of just playing a couple of snaps and that kind of who cares just to get the rushing title. So Davis is there. He's perfectly capable of stepping up and seeing more work and handling more of a workload than normal when James Cook is fully playing. He might have to do that this week. Keep an eye on what happens with Ty Johnson. The Texans try, but don't ever successfully run the football. And we've marveled at this, and including on the SiriusXM show this week with Jeff, I talked about it. I mean, it's impossible. It's really impossible. Pretty much, it's impossible to do what Woody Marks has done for half the season, which is like the last 8 games, he's averaging like 17 touches for like 60 yards. Like you can't do that. Like 1 touchdown in 8 games or something like that. Like you can't be the starting running back for a team that long and be that bad. And you can't get that many touches a week, 17, 18 touches every week, and get 70 yards from scrimmage. Like it's really difficult to do that. The bottom line is they just don't run the ball effectively. And they're going to have to win the games, Houston, with the big timely pass play and their defense. Normally when teams are as defensively minded as the Texans, they win by running the ball, right? Because they're trying to control the clock and that kind of thing. In this instance, they're not good at running the ball. And that could be even more difficult this weekend because Jawhar Jordan didn't practice on Thursday. He's got the ankle injury. It's being called a high ankle injury. Normally, when you have a high ankle injury, you miss multiple weeks. So it's looking pretty likely that Jawhar Jordan will not play this week. What does that mean? Most likely, that means Nick Chubb, who looked like he wasn't going to be active this week, will be active this weekend. It'll probably be Woody Marks and his 18 touches for 70 yards with a prayer for a touchdown. But we'll see. Nick Chubb, he's even in a one-and-done scenario, he's just not. You would use him in the Super Bowl or something if they made it, kind of thing, right? We're not using Nick Chubb right now. But yeah, keep an eye on Jordan with that ankle injury. But my assumption is at this point that he won't play this weekend for the Texans. Davante Adams, who we talked about and said, look, he's going to play this week. He is going to play this week. He was removed from the injury report with that hamstring injury. So basically, thumbs up, wheels up, all that kind of stuff for Davante Adams, who I made Adamas on the rundown because I'm thinking about Willie Adamas in baseball. It's already started to happen, folks. But Davante Adams will return, should be good to go. Off the injury report, great news, not even a questionable tag. So expect him to play the majority of snaps, to expect him to be utilized, down in the red zone. And let's hope he gets in the end zone, which he did with a extremely high level of frequency this season for the number 1 passing quarterback in attack in football with the Rams. So he'll be back and off and running with him. Rome Odunze, he's off the injury report. We speculated with Odunze, is he going to play or not? He's off the injury report. He's been dealing with the foot injury. Rome Odunze will play this week for the Bears against the Packers. Will he play 30% of the snaps, 50% of the snaps, 75% of the snaps? That is the uncertain part with him. Even if you think the Packers are going to win this game like in a one-and-done scenario and you want to go with Rome Odunze because you think the Bears are going to get it knocked out, that's really tough. I mean, especially given the fact, as we have discussed here multiple times on the show, especially given the fact that he was supposed to play a couple weeks ago and then was ruled out, 5 minutes before the game started with that setback in warmups. Odunze has not been a strong contributor for half the season. He hasn't been on the field for almost half the season. Like, it's in and out of the lineup, hasn't done anything. Luther Burden has really stepped up. They have Colson Loveland, whose role in the offense seemingly is growing on a weekly basis. They could throw a couple passes to Cole Kmet. They've obviously got DJ Moore, dump a couple balls off to guys in the backfield. Olamide Zaccheaus here or there. So I would really like to. I hope my expectation is the Bears will win the game. In the playoff format, I'm just not playing Rome Odunze. I just don't feel confident with him. Ricky Pearsall, we talked about yesterday, didn't practice again. He's not playing this week. I mean, that's what it looks like. And I kind of said it all. I'll just repeat what I said earlier in the week. Doesn't play. I don't care how talented Ricky Pearsall is. I don't care how good he could be in this. He doesn't play. And it's really looking like that knee that he tweaked again in week 17, And it must be, I'm frustrated. You're frustrated. Like, I can only imagine what it's like for Ricky Pearsall. Let's remember last year, he missed a bunch of games. He got shot. He literally got shot. Someone tried to mug him and shot him. And so he missed games there. This year, it's been injury after injury after. He just can't get on the field. I mean, we're 2 years into this guy's career, and he's had some really nice games for the Niners. And, he should be out there getting 8 targets a week, catching 5 or 6 balls for 65, 70 yards every week. And for the most part this season, he's actually done that when healthy. Just can't get on the field. At this point, I'm just not expecting him to play. We talked about it earlier in the week. Demarcus Robinson, over Kendrick Bourne, if you're going crazy pants here on this, you're playing DFS, something like that. But just terribly disappointing. The Niners really need him, and it just doesn't look like he's going to be out on the field against the Eagles. A good note, and this is, again, as we expected, Trent Williams was seen practicing on Thursday. We don't know officially he's going to play, but he's got that hamstring injury. He's only played 1 snap the last 2 weeks. Fully expect Trent Williams to play this weekend against the Eagles, as we discussed yesterday. That's a really important situation for the Niners. Good to see that he's likely to play. We'll get further information, barring some setback here, of course. But it looks like he's going to be good to go in that matchup with the Eagles. On the Eagles side of things, Lane Johnson, who's dealt with the foot injury, he's not certain to play, but he is certainly trending toward playing. He's obviously a very important piece. It's just each of these guys have got, Pro Bowl, Hall of Fame caliber linemen in Lane Johnson and Trent Williams. They're going against each other. Williams, I think, is 90% likely to play. Lane Johnson, 75, 70%, a little less likely to play, but he's certainly trending toward the right zone to return. He hasn't played since week 11 because of the foot injury he's dealt with, but really good to see that Lane Johnson, because again, I want the Niners to win, but you don't want teams to win because the other team's down players. Like, at least I don't. Maybe some of you do. I don't know, but I'm not in that zone, so it's nice to see that both those linemen have a chance to play this weekend in that matchup against each other. And finally, before we talk some quarterback with Russell Clay, look at the review of the young quarterbacks around the NFL this season and how they performed and what their future outlook is. One situation to keep an eye on here, the Lions, and you see it everywhere. Every time you look, there's a new guy interviewing with somebody about something. It's really strange to me how the NFL, how this happens, how we're like coaches that are in the playoffs are interviewing for jobs with other teams. That's just bizarre. I don't know why there's not a moratorium on this until the season's over, right? You should tell everyone you can't talk to anybody until the season's over. That way no one gets an unfair advantage. No one's attention is divided. Like, if I'm in the playoffs, I don't want one of my guys on my coaching staff thinking about getting a job with another team. I don't want him talking to other, diverting his attention away from the game plan. I don't want that. But it's the way the NFL is. So the bottom line is the Lions, who we know have moved on from their OC, Dan Campbell and the crew there, are looking to find a new offensive coordinator. Not sure who that's going to be, but they're interviewing a bunch of people trying to make that determination. Brad Holmes, the general manager of the Lions, said that they're going to have in-depth discussions about the future of David Montgomery in Detroit. Montgomery, who has been extremely effective for this team the last couple of seasons, went from 235 touches to 221 touches to 182 touches this year. He was not phased out of the offense when Dan Campbell took over as the play caller, but he became a backup running back. He became a change of pace back. He wasn't the guy he had been the previous 2 years, which was a significant part of the offense. He started seeing the ball 7-8 times a week. They started really leaning on Jahmyr Gibbs, who's obviously a fantastic football players. So we shall see. Keep an eye on this. Who the Lions who the Lions add to be that offensive coordinator. What their decision is with Montgomery. He's due 11. They can save $11 million by cutting him this offseason. He has a contract through 2027, does Montgomery. They can save over $11 million by cutting him, but that gives them an $8.6 million dead cap hit. So we'll see what they do. We'll see if they run it back with him. We'll see who the new OC is, what the front office decides. But again, this is why it's also very difficult at this point in time, though some people want to do it, to make moves in dynasty leagues because you just don't know necessarily where these guys are going to be or who their coach is going to be. And that's kind of important. Remember, go to fantasyguru.com. If you have any questions, send an email to support@fantasyguru.com. $20 the rest of the way. Everything football besides the Super Bowl betting guide. Everything football for seasonal. Everything football for DFS. Everything football for betting. All of it, one price, $19.99. Get in now. Check it out. You'll like what you see. You'll enjoy it. You get the Discord rooms. You'll get the live streams, the articles, the rankings, all of that. And you'll say, hey, I want to be with you guys next year full time. So check it out right now over at fantasyguru.com. Don't forget to go to drafters.com/refer/elite. Drafters.com/refer/elite. Use the promo code ELITE to get signed up for the Drafters Best Ball Tournament. If you've never signed up with Drafters previously, if you use that promo code ELITE, you get a matching situation from them up to $100. So you put in 45, they match it and give you extra 45. You put in 82, they give you an extra 82. Don't do 82. But you get the point there. So use that promo code ELITE over at drafters.com. And then finally, the MVP plan is also available right now. Everything besides football and baseball. So NASCAR, PGA, MMA, horse racing, hockey, basketball, all that is under the MVP plan over at fantasyguru.com. And hell, buy yourself a gift card. You can do this. You don't have to buy the gift card to give it to somebody else. We're not going to judge you. And yes, they are still available despite the holiday season past. If you buy a gift card, you get a bonus. You buy a $25 gift card, we give you 10 free bucks. Kind of like drafters.com. You buy a $50 card, we give you 15 free bucks. You buy a $100 card, we give you 25 free bucks. Buy a gift card, give it to yourself, get that extra FG bucks that we throw in there. Hell, if you spend $200, we'll give you $250. So we'll give an extra $50 there. So check that out. Sign up for a gift card and give yourself the bonus of what you deserve. Success in 2026. All right, it is a Friday. Every Friday we talk to my man, Russell Clay. Russell Clay is our dynasty guy over at fantasyguru.com. I saw him in the Discord this morning answering questions. He's our dynasty guy, but he's not just a dynasty guy. He is our dynasty guy. You heard him all season long over on SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio with Justin Fensterman. They were on Sunday nights reviewing the game action there. But he's with us every Friday at about 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. So let's bring in my man. You know him as Russell J. Clay, Russ J. Clay. You know him as the man, Russell Clay of fantasyguru.com. How you doing, Russ?
I'm good, Ray. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I was I saw that you were looking at something. I was trying to come up with extra names for you to give you an extra second there at the start of the show. Sorry, I kind of ran out of names and had to throw it to you like that.
Oh, I was just looking at cards.
Oh, good. Did you see the big card we got on the show today? Were you watching earlier?
No, I wasn't.
Boom! James Wood insert could be up to $10. You wish you were me.
Oh, dang!
Yeah, this is a night terror card. Ooh, don't be scared. $10, Russ. What were you looking at?
James Wood.
Yeah, what were you looking at? Anything good?
Huh?
You said you were looking at cards too.
Well, I got all my Trevor Lawrence rookies that I've been sitting on after I thought they were going to be worth nothing. Okay. So we're gonna finally get rid of those over the weekend. Win or lose, those will be gone.
You going to a show?
No, selling them on eBay.
Oh, nice. Wow, look at Russ. By the way, you're still doing the Wednesday TikTok Russ Clay thing for the Dynasty rankings?
I am. This week was a little different because someone was asking about dynasty values a few weeks ago. So I just did 5 dynasty values. But yeah, every week, every Wednesday, we're in the TikTok. Actually, yesterday I had my nephew on. He's a music guy. So we had people putting music in the chat. So if you have any good music, we'll probably be doing more of those. But yeah, every Wednesday is football stuff.
So what's the TikTok and what's the YouTube page? Let's get it out there. Let's get people buying those Trevor Lawrence cards.
YouTube.
Not YouTube. eBay. Yeah. eBay. Sorry, the eBay page.
You can follow me on YouTube. Just expect one thing. I put out a new video once every 6 months on
Nice.
YouTube, so it's a torrid pace.
Yes.
Over there. But yeah, on TikTok, Russell J. Clay, and then eBay, just go and search Trevor Lawrence rookie cards and you'll find me.
How many do you have?
Not many, like 10.
Okay. You're gonna say like you had like 150 of them or something.
But yeah, if you have the best prices, you pop up at the top.
That's true. 99 cents. You're right at the top there. There you go. Russ, we're going to have you on here over the next month or so, since you are a Dynasty guy, looking at rookies from 2025. So reviewing kind of how they did and any thoughts you might want to give in a Dynasty scenario with them moving forward. We're going to start out with the quarterback position today. There's a couple of names that played a lot that are exciting. There's a couple of names, but they're rookies, so let's talk about them. First one's Cam Ward. Got hurt the last game. Doesn't seem like it's a big deal with his shoulder. Team scenario kind of sucked. His performance was kind of bad. I don't think it was unreasonable given the scope of everything going on with this team. They need a new head coach, et cetera, et cetera. How do you assess what you saw from him in 2025?
So I may not have the best strategy, but I have a better strategy than evaluating on-field performance, which is I don't care about on-field performance in year one for quarterbacks. That's my general view. I stick to the draft position and I watch like a hawk who these QBs get around them within the first couple years. So we're watching, and we have watched the last 3 to 4 years. The best value in Dynasty has easily been retread quarterbacks. So you look at Sam Darnold, you look at Baker Mayfield, even a Bryce Young this season. These guys were all free because we all looked at the on-field performance and said, these guys absolutely reek. I can smell the stench from my computer or TV. I never want any of these guys on my team again. And then they're all of a sudden good again. And so if you are just watching film or looking at stats, you are losing these exchanges pretty much every time. So if you evaluate Cam Ward for his on-field performance this year, you're going to say he stinks. I don't want anything to do with him ever again. But what I would say is they draft the first round wide receiver. They bring in some O-line help and they get a young, nerdy looking offensive coordinator, and he's going to look completely different. Liam Cohen walked into Jacksonville and did the Duval thing, and everyone was like 0-16 or 0-17. They're going to lose every game. And now you see Trevor Lawrence, he's got 38 total touchdowns this year. So as a T-Law guy, I've watched this whole thing. I'm like, if he didn't get Liam Cohen, I don't know where I'm at, you know, and I think we all have our guys where we're buying the ticket to the show, win or lose. And that's been T-Law for me, but there's been plenty of others. Like if you were a Sam Darnold guy for 3 years, you were like, I'm the worst evaluator alive.
Right.
And if you were I don't think there were any Bryce Young fans, but if you were a Bryce Young fan, you know, you're like, all right, well, this looks way better than what, you know, the CFL caliber quarterback we saw the first couple of years. So you guys get what I'm saying. The Lions should go for Arthur Smith. Yeah, I mean, Arthur Smith has my respect forever, making Kenny Gainwell a playoff contending featured weapon, right?
Yeah, the Lions should not go for Arthur Smith. No, let's not start that here, Adam.
Who would he be featuring, Ray, in that offense? Who's the third string tight end?
Anthony Ferguson, let's go. Ross Dwelly, let's do this.
He'd be bringing in Cordell Patterson to split with Gibbs there.
He might actually. Jeez Louise. By the way, we talked about my dynasty team a lot here on this show just to support what Russ was saying. 12 teams, 50 rounds. The 388th pick in that draft by me was Daniel Jones.
Oh my God. Yes. All of a sudden, Daniel Jones is like a Pro Bowl quarterback. So Without that injury, he would have gotten, poor guy, he would have gotten what, 100 million from somebody?
Probably would have, yeah. 33rd round, 388th pick overall, to Russ's point about the retread quarterback situation. What about Jaxson Dart? Now, we don't know who his head coach is going to be. We don't know what the offense is going to look like, but this is different with Jaxson Dart because whoever comes in, Harbaugh, they know what they got in this kid. And I think the question that we all have is, can he develop a little bit as a passer? Well, that will be helped a lot by Malik Neighbors returning. Can he stay healthy? How much of that athleticism can you pull out of his game and still have him be an effective option? What about Jaxson Dart in 2025?
So we saw the upside, which is great. Like, we did not see the upside with Cam Ward yet, so he's much more of an unknown.
Right.
With Dart, it's like, okay, we have the playbook. If we can get a coaching staff to say, have him do a seminar on sliding, I think we might have something here. You mentioned Malik Neighbors. Wan'Dale Robinson completely broke out this year. Actually, he's broke out the last 2 years. This year, they threw to him down the field a little more. He has all the pieces we need to become really highly fantasy relevant. He just needs the coach. I am not arrogant anymore. I used to just say buy the player no matter what. I can't do that with Jaxson Dart just because his price is pretty high. We need the coach. We got to see who they bring in. And once we do that, I'll feel a little better, or maybe worse. But yeah, this isn't like Cam Ward where he's basically, downgraded in a lot of situations. Dart, I feel like, has a lot of, in every draft, there's going to be one or two people battling for him. So I'm probably not going to end up with much Jaxson Dart after this year, but I see the vision.
Russell Clay of fantasyguru.com. He's here with us every Friday at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. He's almost always on the live stream on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time over at FG. Tyler Shough, who, it's like he's old, 27. Looked pretty good down the stretch with the depleted roster around him. No running game for a while. Guys at the wide receiver. I don't know. They're signing guys off the street to play wide receiver. What do you think there? I think the common thing is with Shough is he looked good down the stretch, but he's already 27. And what say you, Russ?
It's the one position where 27 isn't old. It's still old, right? It's not good. He was actually, he did an interview the other day. He was talking about how he was Bo Nix's backup, and he came out a year later, and he's way older. So it's pretty bizarre how his career worked out. I like what I've seen. I like the coaching staff. I don't like the weapons, but if they improve at all and keep Olave healthy, he's cooking. So if you drafted Tyler Shough, you probably got him late first, early second round. Huge win. So hold if you have him. And then in startups, I still think there's going to be value there. So I will be sneaking some draft picks in there, but probably not going to get the same value you would have gotten had he not had that final stretch.
Russ Clay of fantasyguru.com. Shedeur Sanders, do you see anything? Is he going to be the starter in week 1 next year? Again, we don't know who the coach is going to be and what the offense is going to look like. Are they going into next year with him as the starter?
I'm the most boring Shedeur Sanders take of all time. Just lukewarm. I got nothing. There's he's going to be Joe Montana, and he doesn't belong in the NFL. I think he's a backup. He'll be a fine backup somewhere. But he may not want to be a backup, but that's his destiny. Teddy Bridgewater, maybe he can start a year or two, but that's pretty much it I see from Shedeur. No, I'm out. Yeah.
Is it purely his dad? Like, why? Like, the national media, and Jeff Mans talked about this a lot on the Elite Sports Show. The national media, like, you watch a game, that's all they talk about is Shedeur Sanders. It's like, bro, he's not even average. He's not good. Why? Is it his dad? Is that really what it is? Is it the success he had in college? I can't figure this out because I watch him play and it's like, if you didn't know anything and you just watched him play, like that doesn't look good.
And the other thing is he's going to be highly successful off the field. So I don't know how much longer he's going to want to do this and battle with Kevin Stefanski and all these random coaches. Like, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I've just watched enough football where it's like Cam Ward has tools where I'm like, oh yeah, I like if this works out, we're cooking. I do not see that with Shedeur though. I mean, he's not bad. Like he could run an offense if everything works out and he has great weapons, but yeah.
What about his teammate Dillon Gabriel? Is he the answer? Is he the quarterback in week 1, or do the Browns have to make a signing or draft pick? This is not working now.
Yeah, let's scrap this. Let's just forget this happened. We want to build around the running game. Poor Judkins, but I would move on from this after 1 year. I think this was a disaster. I don't see it with Gabriel either.
If you had to choose Gabriel or Sanders for that last spot on your bench,
ugh.
I said if you had to. I didn't say if you wanted to. I said if you had
to. Ah, man, Ray, come on, man.
In the morning, come on.
I'd probably take Gabriel, but I don't think either have a season worth of starts left in their careers, really.
Russ Clay, fantasyguru.com. What about Riley Leonard? Like, he was, in essence, replaced by Phillip Rivers, and okay, they went back to Leonard at the end. He looked really good. It was one game. He looked really good against a really good Texans team. He was athletic. He made throws. He had a little bit of Baker Mayfield, a lot of rah-rah on him going on there too. Again, really limited workload here from him. But is he, in your eyes, someone you're more excited about than you were? Do you view him as a potential starter? Is he a career-long backup? Where are you kind of at with him right now?
He is almost assuredly going to be a backup just because he was drafted so late, and I don't think the Colts commit to him. But from what I've seen on the field, I watched him drive right down the field on the Jaguars when he subbed in for Daniel Jones, and then he has some juice on those deep passes, unlike some of the guys we mentioned, those Browns QBs.
Right.
Riley Leonard was like a high pedigree college QB. I don't know why he dropped so far in the draft, but he did. So obviously evaluators are not sold on him. So I value that. But what I've seen from him on the field and what I saw from him at Notre Dame, like this is not some small school guy, right? And he plays like he came into these games like he was a Notre Dame quarterback. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we get the Gardner Minshew type career out of him, but that's kind of what we're looking at.
In Seattle, you mentioned Sam Darnold earlier. Like Sam Darnold's one of the few quarterbacks ever to win 13 games in back-to-back seasons for different teams. Like, and last year statistically was much better than this year, but still,
yeah.
I don't believe that he's signed a contract extension, so he's a free agent at the end of the year, if I'm not mistaken, right? So he did sign a contract. So it was a multi-year contract with the Seahawks, excuse me. So he will be back with Seattle next year. So that really kind of throws a wrench in the Jalen Milroe bank right now. Sam Darnold goes out and throws 4 picks in that first playoff game, and here we go again, right, with that talk, because we had a couple of moments this year. It was like, oh god, the old Sam Darnold and the ghosts. But what do we do with Milroe? Because we knew when he was drafted, it was like he's a guy that's going to need time to matriculate and learn and that kind of thing. With Darnold showing as much as he did, and with the multi-year contract that he did sign with Seattle, we're looking at 2-3 years down the road before we see Milroe, it looks like.
So the people who sat with Jordan Love for 3 years on their roster, was it worth it? Because I think it was.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of waiting for a quarterback. Right. So that's a lot of waiting for any position, and it's tough, right? So Milroe's basically a 0 for the first 3 years of his career on your roster before they figure out anything. I think he should sit. He's certainly not ready coming out of Alabama. But it's really tough with these assets because if they don't go with Milroe in a couple years. And then so my latest one, the last one that I did this with was Kyle Trask.
Okay.
And the Buccaneers, what happens? We wait behind Brady. Oh boy, it's time. It wasn't time, Ray. They brought in Baker Mayfield. And
Right.
I don't know what Kyle Trask is doing. Is he selling insurance now? Is he still in the league?
Discount double check? I don't know.
Yeah. So it goes both ways, right? So I love Milroe's raw skill set. I think if he gets in a good offense, he could be a humongous fantasy asset, but there's no guarantee, and you're getting all zeros right now.
I mean, in the old days, and we talked about this a lot. Joe Montana sat on the bench, Brett Favre sat on the bench, Aaron Rodgers sat. Like that used to be how it went.
Yep.
Just not how it goes anymore. So like you say, you plan for he's the future, and then they go out and make some $150 million signing in free agency, and he becomes Trey Lance, right? So
yeah,
we'll see there. But yeah, there's tons of potential, but what is that? I'm trying to find out how Kyle Trask is still on a team.
He's probably still floating out around there somewhere.
Yeah, he's in the workout circuit or something. He's an American football player. He's not a rookie, but he was a rookie in terms of playing time because he didn't play his first season. We got to talk JJ McCarthy here. And my astute analysis is that he stunk. Now, there were games where he was better. There were games where he was way worse. He showed athleticism. He showed some heart. He also played some bad football, made some bad decisions, couldn't figure out how to get the ball to one of the best receivers in football history.
Yep.
I mean, what do they do? Brosmer's not the answer. They know that. Carson Wentz, maybe he comes back in a support role. Maybe they make a move to bring another veteran quarter. They got to do something, in my opinion. You can't just, in my opinion, go into next season with Brosmer as your backup and McCarthy as your starter in week 1 and feel good about it. What say you, Russ?
Okay, because I'm not invested, Ray, in that Vikings organization. Right. I'm going to tell them they should. But I agree with you. If I were the Vikings, I would not be solo with McCarthy. However, what is his career so far? A bunch of injuries and then getting set up to fail in tough matchups. What I will say is, organizationally, this Vikings organization's top tier. Mm-hmm. I think their coaching staff is top tier. I think their weapons are top tier. If we go into next year, and I've been making this argument, like, can they Bryce Young him, where it's strapped together with masking tape and it looks frayed around the edges, and there's some weeks where they can't hide it, and it's like, oh my God, get this guy off the field. I'm buying JJ McCarthy in Dynasty because it's disgusting, and this is the type of guy I buy every time. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but the organization's so strong and the defense was so good at the end of that last year. They're going to have a easier schedule next year. I don't know. I think this is worth buying. I think they're going to continue to develop him. And I have a lot of faith in Kevin O'Connell. But yeah, nothing about his on-field play says buy. So I'm going to buy because it's going to be like you did with Daniel Jones in like the 50th round. But I'm not buying because there's anything good. It's most likely he's done after next year.
The Vikings, by the way, you mentioned this, were playing great football down the stretch.
Great
football. They had the same record as the Lions, and they were half a game behind the Packers when it was all said and done. They went 9-8. And I agree completely with you. This is a good organization with a good coaching staff, a good plan. They have weapons and all that. And though I was harsh on McCarthy, I have to echo what you said. He's played 10 NFL games. Has he finished 8 of them? Like he hasn't even played. He really hasn't even played half a season, 4 quarters of football. And, when you get taken as a top 10 pick and then you don't play for an entire year, the expectation is, oh, well, he studied for a year. Yeah, but he still hasn't played. So there are a lot of quarterbacks that started out poor. I mean, Peyton Manning threw 300 interceptions. What did he throw? 25 interceptions his rookie year or something like that. Like, sometimes. So I think that the advice of buying on JJ McCarthy makes all the sense in the world because he's free. Like he's just free. And he is a talented guy, and there's that around him, a great supporting staff. In a redraft league, nah.
Right.
In a dynasty league, I think people should be buying Russ.
Yeah, and it comes down to, could he get Trey Lance, right? And they just move on from him because he's too injury prone? Sure. But who cares? Like, you can miss on 4 Trey Lances, and if you get one Daniel Jones, right, it's all out in the wash because you hit a huge increase there.
Whatever happened to Trey Lance?
I don't know.
He last threw a touchdown pass in 2021.
I don't know.
He didn't play in college, and then COVID and Niners. There was that whole debate who the Niners are going to take and which guy they're going to grab, and they ended up grabbing Trey Lance kind of last minute. Didn't seem like that was the guy they were going to take. Took him 3rd overall. This not 3rd round, 3rd overall. And I don't know if he's a prototypical quarterback, but if you put the pieces together, I mean, this certainly looks like a guy, if we're playing Madden, that we want on our team. Russ, do you have any? You don't know either? Just didn't work?
I mean, I think it's over now, but yeah, I thought the raw skill set was there, and if he's good enough for Kyle Shanahan, he's good enough for me, but then they moved on pretty quick. So
yeah, and Mac Jones is the guy that established himself.
Yeah.
Like how? Okay, that's why it's fun to play dynasty leagues, because you'll look back in a couple years and make some of your picks like, oh, I grabbed this guy in the 12th round. That was fantastic. I took that guy in the 2nd round of the rookie draft. Oh, whoa, he played 7 snaps in his whole career. That's how things go. He's Russell Clay of fantasyguru.com. He joins us every Friday at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. We talked earlier about his he's selling cards on eBay. Look for Trevor Lawrence. His every Wednesday he does the TikTok video along with you all as he discusses the modifications he's making to the dynasty rankings over at fantasyguru.com. What does your workload schedule look like here in the playoffs? Like what's a normal week for Russell Clay, and how can the folks get in touch with you besides hitting you up in Discord?
So I just put out an article today. Armando reached out to me. Some people were looking for some one and done playoff league stuff. So I put out a primer. I wouldn't say it was deep analysis. If you want the deeper analysis, definitely check out Tyler's right up on the FFPC. He does a great job with that. But yeah, I did a one and done playoff league. If you've never played in one before, go check it out. It's truly, Ray, I don't know how you feel about playoff leagues, because there's no sitting starters. There's no they're emptying out the playbooks in every game. I just think it's a great time to be involved in fantasy football. So I'm a huge advocate for getting in a home league or, getting in one of those big leagues. But yeah, go check that out. And, the next couple weeks, I'm hanging with you guys. I'm riding with you guys. Ray, we want to do the NFL draft stuff. We want to do, you can't. Okay.
Gotta wait, right?
You can do it for fun. And that's what we do. We do it for fun, but the serious analysis on the draft isn't for another, couple months.
After the Super Bowl. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm looking at your article right now. The playoff fantasy leagues one and done. I know it's a primer, but it's it's not 17 words. Like
no, we got some plays in there. We got some break down the rules and all that. So yeah.
And remember, go to fantasyguru.com right now. Get signed up for the football package. Everything but the Super Bowl betting guide is included in this. Everything for football. So live streams, Discord rooms, articles, rankings. Remember, we've got best ball rankings for the drafters.com tournament. We've got one and done rankings for everybody. We've got wild card week only rankings for everybody. So we've got 3 sets of rankings over there. Russ is updating the dynasty rankings on a weekly basis as well. He's got the primer article there. So as he said, we're still rocking and rolling over at fantasyguru.com. We'll continue to have Russ on the show here on Fridays. We'll continue to go through for the next month, position by position, talking rookies. We'll talk running backs next week with him as an example. So, Russ, thanks for your time today. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Have some fun. Go out and, drink a beer, sell some football cards. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Ray.
He's Russ. I'm Ray. Don't forget to go to SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio from 2 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday for the Elite Sports Show with Jeff Mans. Remember, starting next week, I'm with you Monday Thursday, Friday, right here. On Tuesday and Wednesdays, I'm with Jeff on SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio. And on Tuesdays and Wednesdays here, it'll be Justin Fensterman. So we still got you covered 5 days a week on Fantasy Sports Daily, starting at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Just a little bit of a change on the Tuesday show. For Russ, I'm Ray. It's been Fantasy Sports Daily powered by FantasyGuru.com. Good luck in Wildcard Weekend here. We'll talk to you on Monday.